We built a sales team that generated $1.3 million within 30 days for our client, Peter Sage. Now, let me break down how we were able to recruit 10 closers in just a couple days who went on to put up 100K each within their first month. Now, to give you some context, Peter Sage is a transformational life coach, very similar to Tony Robbins, more of a UK version. And his business was already doing well, 7 figures plus, but the challenge was that his sales team was outsourced. And he wanted to be able to bring his sales team in-house to have more profitability and ultimately scale beyond 8 figures. And that's when he decided to bring us in to build his sales team for him. So the very first thing was get clear around the numbers. We got very clear around the goal, which was $1 million a month. Now, normally $1 million a month is relatively unrealistic for a new sales team, but because of the lead flow that Peter Sage already had in place, it actually wasn't that far off. Because when we reverse engineered the numbers, we realized all it really came down to after we ran from the goal all the way to number of clients signed, to the offer price point, to close rate, all of the things, we essentially got clear that we only needed 10 closers to put up 100K each, and we'd have our $1 million goal. And the thing is, if you're not clear around your numbers, you're never gonna know exactly how many reps you need or to be able to set them up for success to say, hey, you gotta hit these KPIs if you're going to be on this team with accuracy and realistic projections. So from that point, we started the hiring process. But before we could really even do that, the first thing we really had to do was install our talent acquisition system. And essentially this is the A to Z hiring process that is streamlined and automated and pretty much guarantees that you're gonna find the perfect fit closer every single time that you go to hire your sales reps. And so what we did was built out all the automations, all the processes, all the steps. So that way when we started sourcing reps, we didn't have to spend time talking to reps who weren't a fit or were unqualified, and essentially only got on the phone with reps that were super solid. So once we built that out, now we began starting to hire. And in our talent acquisition system, there's specific ways to be able to source talent from about 10 different channels. So once we got the talent acquisition system in place, then we started to source closers through the process. And essentially the first step we had to do was define who the dream closer was. And oftentimes sales team leaders or companies would just hire reps that have a pulse or rely on maybe past experience. But what we found is that there's actually 4 specific criteria that allow a closer to pretty much guarantee that they're a great fit. And so what we did was define that criteria for Peter Sage to essentially define the dream closer that we knew if this kind of person was placed on this team, they're gonna put up 100K within the first month. And that 4 criteria is really simple. Number 1, enthusiasm, right? Do they have actual enthusiasm around the offer? Are they passionate about solving the problem that your company does for your clients? Second is expertise. Do they actually have experience in doing the thing that they're helping people essentially do, right? For example, health and fitness, if someone's fat and overweight, there's not gonna be much conviction, whereas if they're healthy, they eat clean, they get good sleep, they're gonna be able to enroll a lot more people. So enthusiasm, expertise, and then skill set. Essentially, have they sold similar price points before? And then does their sales style reflect what's really solid for your specific avatar, which is maybe B2C or B2B. Once we define that for Peter's team, then we were able to essentially start posting and essentially putting all of our hooks out into the ocean of closers to be able to ensure that we got the right candidate from the jump. And what we did was get hundreds of applications, but because the process automatically filters everything down through essentially the exact close that we're looking for, we got about 30 candidates that fit the right criteria. And keep in mind, this was just in the first day, and from that we were able to whittle it down to about 18 who we felt were super solid. From there, we connected them with Peter's team. They felt that about 10 of them were perfect fits and made them in the offer. And from there, 6 of them were hired. And this happened all within just 3 days of starting hiring. At that point, then all that was left was essentially ramp and train them to KPI. And so we dove in and started working with them one-on-one, walking them through onboarding with the company, the avatar, marketing assets, role plays, sales scripts, sales call reviews, essentially getting them set up and then from there, plugging them into the sales team and having them start to take live calls. And within the first week, that team put up 150K per month. And then from there, we recruited 4 more reps. And over that next 30 days, they ended up putting up $1.3 million in sales. So to recap, what we did for Peter Sage is we got really crystal clear on the numbers. Then we installed our talent acquisition system into his business. We were able to source 6 closers within just 3 days, and then 4 more shortly after that, and then be able to ramp those closers to KPI and have them hit 100K within the first 30 days of working with Peter. Now, the reality is that you can do it yourself and build your own sales team and sacrifice your sacred time to pour into your team because it is an important part of your business. But if you're not super experienced with growing or leading a sales team, it's going to lead to a lot of heartache, a lot of wasted time, a lot of missed hires that are going to cost you sales, and ultimately prevent you from really being able to be the CEO that you are and scaling your company even further and faster. On top of that, if you're not the greatest at sales per se, how can you ever expect your team to sell consistently at a high level if you're the one training them, okay? So no shots fired, just reflecting those things, because you could do all of that, or you can have our team come in, build, lead, train, and scale your sales team 100% for you. We'll install our talent acquisition system into your business, so that way, every single stage of growth that you need reps, we've got you, and then we'll place proven setters and closers into your business and train and ramp them to KPI, all without you having to lift a finger. And last but not least, we'll actually go and hire a sales team leader and plug them into your business, so that way sales is 100% off your plate, running like a well-oiled machine with all of our systems, and you're able to be the CEO that you're meant to be. And the best part is that if our closers don't put up $100,000 in sales within the first 30 days, then you don't pay a dime. We like to take a partnership approach with our clients where we only look for win-wins, and essentially our growth directly ties to your growth. So all of our actions and everything we do is incentivized to put more money in your pocket. Plus, Peter Sage is not the only client that we've done this for. We've also helped Thought Leader scale from 1 million to 1.4 million in just 30 days by helping them recruit 3 closers and 1 setter. And the list goes on. We've been able to help many top names in the space like Roland Frazier, Ryan Dice, Paul Allen, Robin Sharma, Onyx Singhal, and over 450 other high-ticket coaches and service providers. So, if you're interested in being able to scale your sales team to 8 figures plus, then go ahead and schedule a free demo with our team where we'll be able to give you a complete sales team audit and assess what are the highest growth levers and essentially what's the roadmap for you specifically to be able to scale your sales team that's going to work exactly for your company with your avatar in your niche. So go ahead and click the link below and complete the 5-question application and schedule your free demo. Plus, our guarantee is 100% performance-based, meaning that we have no reason to want to hard close you into anything because we're exclusively looking for the right clients to work with and having win-win partnerships. So if that interests you and you're ready to be able to scale your sales team and your revenue and essentially remove yourself from the process so that way you can focus on even bigger and better growth levers, then we'd love to have a conversation. Just click the link below, enter your information, and we'll see you on the other side.